Hello and welcome. I want to thank each one of you for being here today. You could have been anywhere today, but you chose to spend it together, learning, connecting, and cultivating. I honor you and I thank you. My name is Samuel Villaseñor, and I am the Transformation and Inclusion Lead with Crisis Text Line. I'm a trained social worker. My background consists of traditional social work lenses, but I also include restorative justice practices and non-Western ways of healing.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jade Grubb. I'm a manager of clinical supervision here at Crisis Text Line and also serve in some capacity with transformation work that we're doing. And I'm so excited to have you all at our session today. And I'll pass it back to Samuel to get us started with our agenda.
Thank you, Jade, and thank you for guiding us. She will be showing and working the slides, so thank you. I could not have done this without you. I really appreciate you. Why are we here? Why are we here? We are here to commemorate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his legacy. As we start, I would like to elevate the spirit of the events of this weekend by sharing the following quote. People who have stake in their society protect that society. But when they don't have stake in it, they unconsciously want to destroy it. Sit with those words. People who have stake in their society protect that society. But when they don't, they unconsciously want to destroy it. As Jade and I both mentioned, we both work at Crisis Text Line. For those that don't know us, Crisis Text Line promotes mental well-being through spreading compassion to people in their moments of need, wherever they are. We provide free 24/7, high-quality text-based mental health interventions by empowering community that is trained in empathic support and trained to support people who are in crisis or might just need someone to connect with, especially during this time where connection is a hit or miss. And we train people, community people, to really sit and empathically listen. And there is a handout associated with this session. You can find the handout at crisistextline.org /together under the title of this session. Together, we care for ourselves. We'll be referencing, using, if possible, that handout as we continue with our session. Our agreements. It's important that we take care of ourselves. We will, as I mentioned, be doing some experiential work. And at any moment, if you notice that this is too uncomfortable or this is too much, stop. This is a safe space for everyone to participate. So at any point, just take care of yourself. Connect. You are in the safety of your home. We are safe together. As we start our activity, I wanted to share the following quote to anchor our work together. Without fear, there cannot be courage. Without fear, there cannot be courage. And just think, give yourself permission to reflect. What is the relationship of these two words, fear and courage? What is the invitation here? What do these words ask us to do? How is this quote asking for us to show up in our lives? Self-care is the practice of taking an active role in protecting our own well-being, in particular during periods of stress. I would also add that self-care is just as important during times when you're not experiencing stress. I think that's when we can cultivate that practice even more and really hone in on what we need when we are experiencing stress and crisis. To understand what self-care is needed in that moment of stress, we must understand what is happening around us. By understanding and describing the situation around us that's eliciting this fear, we can understand our thoughts, our emotions, our behaviors, and where is it coming up in our body? We'll be using this wheel to further understand the fear that you may be holding or is new in your life. Using the handout, I invite you to observe the event, that thing that is bringing up fear, as if you were a fly in the wall. Again, always taking care of yourself. What are you observing? What event is causing this fear? Describe it as if it was happening, as if you were telling a story. I know it's hard, but try to be objective, as objective as possible. What is causing or surrounding this fear? Now, always connecting with yourself, describe this event, this thing, and describe it using sensations. Where do you feel it in your body? Is it perhaps making your heart race a little? Is it showing up in your head as a headache or tension in your neck? I invite you to really pay attention to those clues that our body gives us that is signaling, hey, notice now what's going on in your mind. Again, building that mind, body, spirit connection. What's happening in here? What are some thoughts that are coming up for you? Notice them as if you were noticing clouds in the sky without judgment or attachment, just noticing them pass by. What are some of the thoughts? Continuing to move around the wheel. What's coming up for you emotionally? What are you noticing emotionally? Can you maybe name one or two emotions that are connected to this fear? If you've done work or been sitting with this fear and maybe perhaps know the root of this fear, write it down. What is the root of this feeling? Anxiety may be rooted in fear of the future. Again, just noticing. And finally, what are some behaviors associated with this fear? You maybe disconnect from others. You perhaps isolate. Again, always noticing and always connecting to deepen our understanding, to slow us down enough to really see what and how do we show up. So why, Samuel, did you have me sit with this discomfort? I did it to bring some love and compassion. Not only that, but to give yourself the love you deserve. I want us to connect with our breath, especially if maybe things were activated as we were sitting with it. Give yourself that love. It's not easy to sit with that discomfort. Meeting this discomfort with grace, for some with tears. In this present moment, you are safe. The benefits in identifying our emotions, our thoughts, behaviors, body sensations in this way is to meet it again with love, to slow us down enough to better connect with our innate strengths that we possess. Our innate wisdom that we have. Another benefit is to better identify what is in our self-care toolbox and what are we needing in this moment. I keep stressing the realization that you already possess the strengths and skills that you need at this moment, especially in moments of fear. When we are present, we are better able to reach into our toolbox. What we can do and I ask at this moment, what can we do, right, to take care of ourselves physically, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually? As we've been practicing standing still and being still together, I want you at this time to, in your worksheet or whatever you're using, to write one or two things that you can use when you feel this fear come in or show up in your life in the way that we've experienced together. I wanted to share some examples, but this could be anywhere. We're deepening this understanding of self-care. For physical, it could be walk, dance. I know my 5-year-old like to dance, and it always brings me joy. For emotional, you could write. Maybe use the activity above to help deepen your understanding of what you're experiencing. Maybe have a work with a trusted friend as accountability buddies. Maybe counseling. Maybe taking that step towards counseling, especially if we've been fearing that. For intellectual, read, engage in professional development. For spiritual, I wonder if volunteer is a way that you can connect with people, especially if this fear is disconnecting or causing isolation. Maybe some spiritual direction. I want to also name that Crisis Text Line is here for everyone. Whether you're going through a breakup, having trouble in school, living with depression or anxiety, have had thoughts of suicide, or just need someone to talk to, Crisis Text Line is also here for you. And you can text hello to 741-741. This could be something maybe that you add to your toolbox. Again, you possess the innate wisdom and strengths, and you can tap into these strengths, especially when we are in a calm state. I want to thank you again, everyone, for choosing to be here with us today. I want to pause at this time and always connecting with our breath to give yourself a huge hug for the work that you did today. It is not easy. It is not easy work. And hopefully this was life-giving, or hopefully this provided an opportunity to just sit with this fear or approach it with a little bit more love, a little bit more compassion. To review, I hope that you can slow down, use this grounding exercise, or similar to these exercises, to acknowledge your thoughts enough to describe what is happening around you. How is it showing up in your body? How is it making you feel? How is it affecting your behavior? When we are present, we can meet distress with love and compassion. We are better able to identify what's in our toolbox and reach for what we need in that moment. I hope that this worksheet could be a roadmap to help navigate hardships that are part of the human condition. I'm sorry to say that. As humans, we will experience the hardships. And as humans, we have the innate wisdom to also sit with those hardships. I hope that this roadmap could be helpful, especially as we go into the next week. In doing this activity, maybe you realize that you need to connect with the good that exists in the world. I know I do. Come volunteer, become a crisis line counselor, crisis text line counselor. And by visiting our website, our information is there. Meet and join a community of people with the same compassion that you have and that you have showed yourself, and show it to others. Connection has a power to decrease isolation. It helps us to realize that we are not alone in our struggles, and we are not alone in our joy.